Clara. Good to see you again. And we were just chatting about your new church job. You want to tell us about it?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm working at a Catholic church in Lower Manhattan currently. It's a very historic parish. It was founded by German immigrants in the 1840s. And it's an absolutely stunning space with beautiful, colorful paintings and statues, very sort of romantic architectural style, and unbelievable acoustics. So I feel very, very happy and blessed to be working here. I'm the music director, and we do a lot of more traditional liturgies, a lot of the pre-Vatican II rite. So the old rite in Latin is something that we do a lot of here. So I'm loving it. Check it out. We have a lot of stuff on the calendar for the coming year. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I am right now.
Awesome. And I'm assuming you have not had a congregation there yet, or the congregation back and they're singing. What's the status there with him
Well,
singing?
yeah, so the congregation has been back pretty much since, well, now that you mention it, there've been masses offered publicly through the pandemic at the church. We never actually went virtual, at least as far as I know. Because
Mhm.
I came on, during COVID, so I wasn't here for the duration of COVID. But we haven't ever been virtual. The attendance went way down during COVID, but it's begun to come back up as people have gotten vaccinated and people have started to regain their confidence in being around one another in person. So that's been good to see. So I wouldn't say we're back at 100% of where people tell me the congregation was before COVID, but we're getting there for sure. And we do sing congregationally. People still wear masks and socially distance in church, but we are getting back to normal.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for taking this interview for the Hymn Society. And just a
absolutely.
few questions. We're excited to share or um, showcase young organists and church musicians and amazing ones like yourself. And just first question is what was your first introduction to the organ and how did you become interested in playing?
Yeah, so I was first introduced to the organ through church, as probably many people are, when I was 13. My parish didn't have an organist, and everybody knew that I played piano, and it was a pretty close knit community, and people would joke, like, Clara, when are you going to start playing the organ for Mass? And finally I did. Um, and I kind of just figured out how to do it along the way, and eventually ended up taking lessons. But it was kind of an interesting experience, and it was very exciting at age 13 to be in the position of being church organist. But once I started taking lessons, I learned a lot more, and my curiosity was piqued to learn more about other kinds of church music and sort of explore the organ repertoire beyond what I was doing in church.
Remind me, where did you grow up? Which
Where did
town?
I grow up? Yeah, so funny story. I'm actually from Charlotte.
Get out. I think I knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I feel like we've had this conversation at
Right.
some point, but we weren't ever there at the same time.
Gotcha.
But I always knew about you because you were like a local celebrity, and I was actually probably one of the most formative experiences I had with the pipe organ, like when I had literally just started taking lessons, was at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. Um, and I remember going to a concert and hearing the organ and looking
Wow.
at the stop list and taking the flyer with the stop list home. This is like nerd level. And and being fascinated with, like, oh my gosh, like I think that was the first time that I really realized like how much possibility there is, especially on an instrument like
Wow.
that. So Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, I believe, is where you worked.
Yeah, yes, 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 yes.
That's like an important part
Were
of
you
my
there for
music
Renee
vocation.
Lupre's recital?
I did go to her recital.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a
okay.
different, this was a different recital, but I
Gotcha.
did
Okay.
I did hear her
Yes.
there. Yeah.
So, how has church or hymns of the church influenced your playing it or your decision to wanting to be a musician?
Well, I think that hymns are really important. They're sort of one of the ways that that people who perhaps don't have any other interest in music or experience of music can experience church music. Because, even if you're not really a singer, if you hear a hymn being sung, the tune sticks in your head and it sort of becomes part of you. So I love hymns. I've always grown up singing hymns. Certain hymn tunes have always had a very powerful emotional effect on me, and of course, the lyrics in many cases make that even come across even more strongly. So,
Yeah.
some of the hymns for like Lent and Easter, for example, they still give me goosebumps whenever I hear them again and again. And I know that many other people, that I would have known growing up attending church would have had the same experience. So I think that we can't do what we do without hymnody. It's such an important part of music, of church music, but also just of the experience of attending church and being part of a church community.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. I'm just thinking about the way hymns or church songs really shape the congregation.
Mm,
Even
yeah.
here, Mark 1, just to hear the introduction of Miller's Lord's Prayer, and everyone just starts smiling. Which
Yeah.
church musician influenced you the most as a budding musician, and why?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know if he's gonna watch this video, but um, probably it's hard to say because like I didn't know this person from the get go, but I would say that the the person that I worked with in Philadelphia during my time as an undergrad at the Curtis Institute of Music, the person that I worked with at the church job I had during that time, probably will always be my most important influence. Uh, and this individual's name is Robert McCormick, and I cannot speak
Oh,
highly. Yeah,
yeah.
I cannot speak highly enough of him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was, yeah, I was lucky enough to work with him for 3 years, and his work ethic and his approach to excellence in church music will always stay with me. I've never seen someone who's as committed to excellence and to just achieving the highest possible standard as he is, and I just feel so lucky to have been able to work with him. And I often think of the work ethic that he instilled in me and that he instilled in everybody else who was part of the music program at the church where I was working. Yeah.
I will forever be a fan of his. He was one of the POE instructors when I was in POE.
Mm.
I was 18 years old and he was at St. Mary's
Yeah.
Immersion and he improvised on some tune, I forget. And I
Mm.
was just mesmerized because I mean I was a young organist and I've never seen anyone improvise in that style.
Hmm.
And it was pretty, yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
To this day, I admire him to no end.
Yes. Yeah, he's a
Awesome.
fantastic improviser.
So my last question for this interview is if you were to speak to a beginner organist or someone who would like to pursue a career in music or in organ or church music, what insights would you have?
What insights would I have? Uh, like encouraging them along the way.
Mhm.
Well, I would say that the church music community is a wonderful community and it has a lot to offer. And there's a great support network among organists and choir directors. And I've sort of inhabited two different worlds because I went to a very orchestral, sort of performance focused conservatory for my undergrad, and I can honestly say that a much greater support network exists for young budding professionals within church music, as compared to the world of sort of just generic classical music at large. You're much more likely to be encouraged and given opportunities and just sort of led along your path in the field of church music. And so I would highly recommend it to anyone who's interested. I would recommend it to pianists and singers who were interested in sort of taking a different path and possibly pursuing the organ. Um, yeah, what insights? What
Well,
are
that's
some
that's
of them?
that's good.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you studying, practicing, of course.
yeah.
Learning as much rep as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, for organists, I would say learn to conduct.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, make that a priority. It's
That's
very
funny.
important.
There are
Also, like, yeah,
very few church jobs still come with only an organist. It's usually organist choir master and
yeah,
double duty.
yeah.
Yeah.
And learn to sing. Learn to sing. Like take those
Yes,
lessons. It's
yes,
very important.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this.
My pleasure.
I know we're asking for a video, so maybe sometime when you get a chance to shoot us a video of your amazing playing. If not, I can find one.
Aw.
Several of you playing.
Gosh, you're
Um,
so kind. Thank you.
yes, and wish you all the best. And please stay in touch.
Will do. Thank you so much for your time, Nat. It's great to chat with you again.
Likewise. Take
All right.
care.
Bye. Take care.